Invisible, barely.
Welcome to tonight's episode of Chucky Reads Important News Articles to you. Tonight's important news article from the New York Times. After a deal, British chocolates won't cross the pond.
Pity.
Written by Tatiana Schlossberg, January 23rd, 2015. Have you tried Hershey's chocolate? Asked Nikki Perry, a longtime British expat living in New York. I'd never sell it in my store, she said, using a string of imaginative expletives to describe how the ubiquitous American chocolate tastes to her. Ms. Perry, a native of Blackheath, England, owns Tea and Sympathy, a tea shop and restaurant, Carry On Tea and Sympathy, a British goods store, a Salt and Battery, a fish and chips restaurant, all in Greenwich Village. As such, she's naturally partial to Maltesers and flake bars. She's also positively appalled at the notion that some of her beloved chocolates will no longer be available in the United States. As a result of the settlement with Hershey's company, Let's Buy British Imports, or LBB, agreed this week to stop importing
LGBT?
LBB agreed this week to stop importing all Cadbury's chocolate made overseas. The company also agreed to halt imports on Kit Kat bars made in Britain, Toffee Crisps, which because of their orange packaging and yellow-lined brown script
Sounds like Coffee Crisp.
too closely resemble Reese's peanut butter cups. Yorkie chocolate bars, which infringe on the York peppermint patty, and Miss Perry's beloved Maltesers. Things in this world are bad enough as it is, Miss Perry said. And now you're going to take away our chocolate! Jeff Beckman, a representative for Hershey's, said LBB
In relation to Gary Bettman?
I don't think so. And others were importing products not intended for sale in the United States, infringing on its trademark and trade dress licensing. For example, Hershey's has a licensing agreement to manufacture Cadbury chocolate in the United States with similar packaging used overseas, though with a different recipe. It is important for Hershey to protect its trademark rights and prevent consumers from being confused or misled when they see a product name or product package that is confusingly similar to a Hershey's name or trade dress, Mr. Beckman said in an email. I think he's going to be as hated as Bettman.
You have to work on that for a while.
What many Britons and British chocolate lovers are most incensed about is the difference in taste between chocolate made in Britain and chocolate made in the United States. Chocolate in Britain has a higher fat content. The first ingredient listed on a British Cadbury's Dairy Milk, plain milk chocolate, is milk. In an American-made Cadbury's bar, the first ingredient is sugar. American Cadbury bars also include PGPR and soy lecithin, both emulsifiers that reduce the viscosity of chocolate, giving it a longer shelf life. British Cadbury bars used vegetable fats and different emulsifiers. An informal blind taste test comparing Cadbury Dairy Milk bars, muddled by this reporter's garlicky lunch, suggested that Ms. Perry had reason to be upset. The British Dairy Milk was slightly fudgier, allowing for a creamier taste and texture. The American Dairy Milk bar left a less pleasing coating and somewhat of a stale aftertaste.
Was the American bar more fattier?
No, the British one was.
That's a surprise.
No. Yeah, more milk, therefore more fat. American was less fat, more sugar. And they're saying now that sugar is actually more dangerous to health.
More sugar could cause people to be more fat, though.
Yeah. Fat doesn't necessarily cause people to be fat.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah. Another retailer of British goods who wished to remain anonymous because she feared reprisal from Hershey's said she imagined she would go out of business soon. Cadbury's is about half my business, she said while eating leftover Cadbury's Christmas chocolate. They don't show a picture of her. And more than that at Christmas. I don't know how we'll survive. She said she tried to import chocolate herself, but it required dealing with the Food and Drug Administration as well as Customs and country's Department of Agriculture, which got to be very complicated. And because Hershey's is looking to stop the sale of all Cadbury's chocolate and the other bars in the United States, it might not help her to import the chocolate herself. Mick McGurk, a London native who now lives in Houston, was visiting Carry On Tea and Sympathy on Friday and said Hershey's was the one at fault. It may sound childish, but they should make it the same and not cheapen it with those additives, Mr. McGurk said. I would agree with Mr. McGurk. Gail Maddock, who moved to Forest Hills, Queens from Scotland last year, agreed and suggested British expatriates take their grievances right to the top. What would Her Majesty think about all this? Indeed.
Pity.
And that's the news.